Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies for our late start. We've been having some serious difficulties with our WebEx platform. Anyway, we're going to proceed. During the declared emergency in the City of Toronto, Committee of Adjustment virtual public hearings are being conducted by electronic means through WebEx, an online digital platform, and streamed on the Toronto City Planning YouTube channel. These measures are necessary to comply with the physical distancing requirements and a provincial order limiting attendance at public gatherings. This will be a virtual public hearing, and participants who have registered in advance will be able to make their presentations to the committee using WebEx, an online event that is being moderated by city staff. Anyone wishing to view the hearing may do so by watching on YouTube. Participants who have registered in advance will be connecting either by their computer, a phone or tablet app, or by telephone. All participants are automatically muted on entry. When your item is called, each participant will be unmuted by the moderator, one person at a time. Only the committee members will be participating by video. Any registered participants will be participating by audio only. We ask that you also mute your devices until you are called on to speak. For all those who are waiting online, please ensure that you have called in with the phone number that you were originally registered with. If you call in with a different number, you will not be able to speak on the item. To ensure audio clarity, I also suggest that you refrain from using the speakerphone function on your telephones. We acknowledge that the land we are meeting on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. In accordance with Sections 45 and 53 of the Planning Act 1990 as amended, this meeting of the Committee of Adjustment of the City of Toronto is called to order. My name is Alan Smithies, and I will chair today's meeting. Joining us on the panel today are Nazila Adarati West, Paul Kidd, and Nadini Sankar Peralta. City staff are also present: Daniel Antonacci, Adam Wills, and Elmira Zarabi. The Committee of Adjustment considers applications for variances from the provisions of the zoning bylaw that apply to property, permission to extend or alter lawful non-conforming uses, and consent to sever property to create new lots. Anyone attending today who wants to receive a copy of the committee's decision must submit a written request for a decision by email. Please ensure that you include your name, address, and email address, because Committee of Adjustment and the TLAB will be sending notifications and appeal updates by email. If you do not agree with the committee's decision, it may be appealed to the Toronto Local Appeal Body, TLAB, or in some limited circumstances to the Local Planning Appeal Tribunal, LPAT. Appeal instructions are set out at the bottom of the committee's decision. I will call each item in the order listed on the agenda. Where an application is uncontested, the agent or applicant will proceed with their presentation if required. The committee may ask questions and or take the matter into the committee for a decision. Each speaker, including the applicant or agent, is given a maximum of 5 minutes to address the committee. I will comment when you are reaching the 5-minute limit. When addressing the committee, please state clearly your name and address. Please remember to confine your remarks to the matters described in the application. The applicant or agent will proceed first and will make a presentation to the committee of the application. Please note that the committee may not entertain revisions to proposals at the hearing today. To ensure that a revised application is accurate and that all those entitled to notice of the application are informed of the changes, the committee may decide to defer the application if it is substantially revised. Then individuals either in support or opposed to the application are invited to speak. Committee members may ask questions of each speaker after they have finished their presentation. When all speakers are finished, the applicant or agent has an opportunity to rebut only those issues that were raised by the speakers. This marks the end of discussion on the item. The application is then taken into committee for a decision. We have minutes from our last meeting of the 30th of October that need to be adopted. If I could have a motion from either Mr. Kidd or Ms. Sankar to adopt those minutes. Ms. Sankar, you'll move that motion?
Yes, through you, Mr. Yes, through you, Mr. Chair, I motion to adopt those minutes.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Sankar. Someone to second that motion? Mr. Kidd seconds. That motion is adopted. Those minutes are adopted. Are there any members here this morning who have any conflicts of interest they'd like to declare? None? Mr. Secretary Treasurer, we have no files to close. Okay, thank you. We'll proceed to the first item on our agenda, and that is item number 180 Earlsdale Avenue. I have two people registered to speak. The agent, Raman Sandhu Marvell Engineering Incorporated. Is the agent there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Sir, can I get your full name and address, please?
My full name is Ramanpreet Sandhu, and my address is 15 Burt Drive, Brampton.
Okay, thank you, sir. We have a one other person registered to speak on this item. So, sir, if you could give us a very brief presentation on what you see are the merits of your proposal. I note that just at the beginning here, we have no comments or recommendations from staff on this application. So if you'd like to proceed with your presentation, sir.
Okay, so this is essentially an application for a third-story addition, and all the variances which are being broken are related to height, deck on the third floor, and front porch encroaching onto the front yard. So a permit was already issued for this property, but because of miscommunication between the architect and the owner, they wanted a third-story full height because the family is getting bigger. They have two kids. A third is on the way, so they want a bigger house with full bedrooms. What they were getting is vaulted ceilings in the rooms, which was not very spacious considering the width of this house. So the owner decided to go with the exterior walls, which are 9.5 meters instead of 8.5 meters as allowed by the bylaw. We are still lower for the total height, and there is no variance for that. There is a front deck, front balcony on the third story. This is overlooking street, not overlooking anyone's backyard. Therefore, this is just a variance for the size. It is not breaking anyone's privacy or anything. The third one is the porch. The porch was existing. The client is just taking that porch apart and putting a concrete porch there, which led to this variance. We are not exceeding. Technically, we are exceeding, but we are just putting the porch on the existing footprint. So I guess these variances are minor considering the existing bylaw and the date existing bylaw was completed.
Okay, thank you, sir. Does the committee have any questions of the speaker? There being none, we'll go to the next person on our list. I have Joe Tambasco. Are you there, sir?
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. You have the floor. If you could give us what your thoughts on this application.
Okay, just real brief. When I first was notified of the renovations a number of months back, I appealed to the building inspector and requested that they keep an eye on it because it appeared that there were bylaws that were possibly being broken. I've had my house for 21 years, since 1999. And I just feel like, especially the rear height, we no longer have enjoyment of the backyard, of our back porch, the deck. My mom has a garden, which is not going to flourish whatsoever with the lack of sunlight and lack of air movement, because the house has been extended and raised so high. And just in the front, like, I just find it odd that they would be able to have an upper deck looking onto our roof and, sorry, this is very choppy. I just, but my request is that they stay within the city bylaw limits and not try to extend and encroach in my property and affect my enjoyment of my backyard or my front.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'll just ask
So
the
can I,
committee, does it have any questions of the speaker? Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Are you finished?
well, one addition I was going to state is that in speaking with the applicant, they do not have any intention of keeping the house. It's being renovated for a sale purpose. So I didn't think that the comments about a growing family were relevant.
Okay, thank you, sir. Does the committee have any questions of the speaker? There being none, we'll go back to the agent. Sir, did you hear the comments from Mr. Tambasco?
Yes,
Would you
I
like
heard
to
the
respond to
comment.
them, please?
Yes, so I heard the comments clearly. So essentially, for the height and for the air movement, if we go as per the bylaw, the roof of the height, the pitch of, if it is a pitch roof, we can go almost 2 meters, 1.5 meters higher than where we are existing. So the airflow or sunlight will be even less as per the bylaw. So there is no question that anything of that sort is happening. And the front balcony is overlooking the street, may be a part of their front porch, but there is no privacy concern in the front balcony. And the balcony is allowed. There is nothing stopping us from making the balcony. It's the size of the balcony. And if we reduce the size, it is not going to help their concern that we can look on their roof. And the client, this house is for them, is for their family. They want to live there. This is not for sale or anything else. It is done.
Okay, thank you, sir. Does the committee have any questions of the speaker? There being none, could I get a motion on this application, please? Ms. Sankar?
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair, I accept the explanations provided by the applicant, and I motion to approve this application.
Thank you, Ms. Sankar. Someone to second that motion? Mr. Kidd seconds. All those in favor? Opposed? Ms. Adirati dissenting. Sir, your application has been approved without condition. Thank you very much. Item number 2, 209 Lauder Avenue. I have two people registered to speak. The first is the agent, Luis Bajana. Are you there, sir?
Opposed?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Adirati, dissenting.
Sir, we're having trouble hearing you.
Approved without condition. Thank you very much.
Sir, we can't hear you.
2, 209 Lauder. I have,
Sir, we can't hear you. Have you got other audio devices?
Yes,
on?
I am.
Just speak into a phone. Turn
Yes, I
everything
am. I'm
else
here.
off.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes, much better. Thank you. Can I get your full name and address, please?
Hello? Hello? Yes?
can't hear you.
Can I get your full name and address, please? Has he disappeared?
Sorry, you want me to speak into a phone?
Sir, we're having trouble hearing you.
Yeah, the name is Louis Bahania, 37 Osner Crescent, Woodbridge, Ontario.
Okay, thank you. If you could give us a very brief presentation on what you see. You have two variances before us. If you could give us a brief presentation on the justification for your variances.
Hello?
Sir, are you there? Mr. Bajana, are you there?
Hello?
Sir,
Mr. Bajana, we can hear you, so please proceed with your presentation.
Seems like I'm actually watching it live on YouTube, and it seems like it's delayed.
Do not
YouTube,
watch the
WebEx
broadcast
events,
on
but It
YouTube.
seems like I hear it delayed. I hear your questions. I hear you guys.
Only
speaking. It's a bit
use the
delayed.
WebEx application for your while you're presenting. Do not use the YouTube stream as a way to follow along with the meeting. As an agent, you should have received the WebEx link to join, and as such, please follow along using the WebEx.
turn off your YouTube channel, sir, and go through WebEx. What I'm going to do, sir, I'm going to hold this application down. We'll come back to you. We'll go to item number 3, which is 276 BOON Avenue. I have one person registered to speak. That's Eddie Perez. Sir, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Good
Mr.
morning,
Perez, we
Chairman,
can hear
committee
you.
members.
I just wanted to just indicate that I note that on your application, we have no recommended conditions or comments from staff. You have 4 variances before us. I think it's pretty clear what you're asking for. I'll just ask the committee if it has any questions or comments or would like a presentation. Okay, thank you. There is no one else registered to speak on this item. Could I get a motion, please? Ms. Adirati?
To you, Mr. Chair, I'd like to put forward a motion to approve this application with no conditions.
Great, thank you, Ms. Adirati. Someone to second that motion? Ms. Sankar seconds. All those in favor? That motion carries unanimously. Mr. Perez, your application has been unanimously approved without condition. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Go to item number 4, which is 162 Chiltern Hill Road. I have 2 people registered to speak. I have the agent, Dominica Camazzo Sitco. Are you there, madam?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to ask, madam, before you start, there is a report from Transportation Services dated the 6th of November, 2020. Have you had the opportunity to review that? Because they're indicating that there's 2 reports, one from the 6th of November and another one from the 19th of November. And the one from the 19th of November, madam, can you turn off your other electronic devices? Just speak into your phone.
I speak from the computer, so I hope it's clear.
Okay. There's a Transportation Services report of the 19th of November, 2020. And it indicates that you need approval for a front yard parking pad. And if the committee approves this application, because of the parking space you're showing in the front yard encroaches into the municipal road allowance, they're recommending that your application for your front yard parking pad be refused. Have you had the opportunity to read that report?
Yes, I have. And this is the existing condition. The parking like this have been for over 20 years, and we are not proposing any changes.
Madam, before you start,
So everything.
I've looked at the plans you have, and because this is important. If you have to go apply for a front yard parking pad, you're going to have to go through another municipal approval process. It's going to cost your client more money, and they're going to have to pay annual fees. Can this front yard parking pad you're showing, can it be accommodated completely within your own property limits? Yes or no?
Yes, but there is a similar situation on almost all the properties along this block of the street. So this is the common situation. We contacted the permitting office, and they are concerned about the tree which is on the front lawn, but these trees have been there for years as well, and there's no any changes. So So I believe that if we don't go with the construction, this condition will stay. So,
Madam, I just wanted to ask though, madam, the plan that we have up on the screen here shows that your parking pad encroaches into the road allowance. Is that plan correct?
yes, like there is a part of the parking which is on the city property. This is correct, yes.
Okay, and what I was asking you is, you can't relocate that parking pad?
My house and another neighbor has renovated, and so I'm pretty used to renovations, but my concern is starting and stopping times, the dirt, the dust, and everything that will waft into my yard. And I'm just hoping that all things be considered, that the construction doesn't start at 6 a.m. and it doesn't go until 9 o'clock. Are there specific laws of starting and stopping that need to be observed? And also about, debris, and I mean, we had insulating materials wafted into our backyard for a long time when the things were going up around us. So I just wanted to know what care will be done to make sure that it minimizes the effect on the neighbors. And also, when will they be starting? Will it be in the winter? Will they be waiting till spring when the windows will be open and it can be a little more difficult for all of us? I just wanted those things to be addressed. Otherwise, per se, I hope it's a lovely addition, and I don't have too much of a problem with it, but I just wanted those issues to be taken into consideration.
Okay, thank you, madam. I'll just, we'll go back to refer your questions to the agent. Madam, are you there?
Yes?
You heard the comments from the previous speaker, if you'd like to reply to them?
Yes, absolutely. So this is relatively small addition, and the start of the work is planned as soon as possible, of course. And all the construction will be carried in respect to all the neighbors and all the required bylaws. It's a young couple moving into the neighborhood, and they want to have a happy neighbors. So all the precautions and cleaning the site will be maintained all the way through the construction, and the contractor and the owners will try to make the process as painless as possible, with full respect.
Okay, thank you, madam. Does the committee have any questions of the speaker? There being none, could I get a motion on this application, please? Please note that we have conditions from, recommended conditions from Forestry and Transportation Services. Ms. Sankar?
Okay, through you, Mr. Chair. I understand what's going on here. I do believe the applicant when she says that this is existing and very common in the neighborhood. I only have one letter of transport saying no objections. And so for that reason, I'm going to put forward a motion to approve this application. And I will actually subject it to Forestry. That's my
Ms. Sankar, you're breaking up on us. Okay, so I have a motion from Ms. Sankar recommending approval subject to urban forestry conditions. Can I have someone to second that motion? Someone to second Ms. Sankar's motion. Ms. Adderati seconds. All those in favor? That motion carries. Madam, your application has been approved subject to urban forestry conditions. We will now go back.
Mr. Chair, yeah, if we can go back to the item number 2.
Yes, I'll go back to item number 2, 209 LAUDER Avenue. Mr. Bajana, are you there?
Yes, I am, sir.
Okay, thank you. I have one other person registered to speak on this application. I note that there are no staff comments or conditions on your application. If you could give us a very brief presentation on what you see as the merits of your proposal.
Definitely. So scope of work is a one-story rear addition. Currently, the house has a shared driveway that leads up to a detached garage at the back. with the one-story addition, we've exceeded the building length by about 1.65 meters. There's other houses that got approved for a higher variance. So basically, scope of work is a one-story rear addition.
Okay, thank you, sir. Does the committee have any questions of the speaker? Ms. Aderati?
Mr. Chair, I have a question regarding variance number 2. I would like to know if the rooftop landscaping was 0% before renovation, or is it new?
Sorry, I lost you in the last part. Sorry about that. Can you repeat that?
I just would like to know variance number 2. Is it a new variance or is it existing? Like, did you have the backyard landscaping before, or this is because of your proposal?
It's an existing condition.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions of the speaker? There being none, I'll go to the next person registered to speak. I have an...
Mr. Chair and members, the person registered to speak is not on the call at this time.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wells. We have no other persons registered to speak on this application. Could I get a motion on these 2 variances, please? Mr. Kidd?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In my view, the requested variances are minor in nature and appropriate for the property.
Okay, thank you,
I'd
Mr.
like to
Kidd.
put forward a motion to accept the application with no conditions.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kidd. Someone to second that motion? Ms. Aderati and Ms. Sankar, thank you. That motion carries with Ms. Aderati seconding. That motion carries. Sir, your application's been unanimously approved without condition. Move on to item number 5, 441 Glenholme Avenue. I have one person registered to speak. That is Armando Barbini. Are you there, sir?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you, sir. I noticed that we had only one staff comment on your application. That was from Transportation Services in their 6th of November report, and they had no objections to your application. I'll just ask the committee if it has any questions or comments, or if it would like a presentation. Okay, there being none, it's very clear what you're asking for, sir. I'll just ask the committee if I could get a motion on this application, please. There is no one else registered to speak. Ms. Sankar?
Through you, Mr. Chair, I'll motion to approve this application.
Thank you, Ms. Sankar. Someone to second that? Mr. Kidd seconds. All those in favor? Opposed? Ms. Aderati dissenting. Sir, your application has been approved without condition. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We're on item number 6, 273 Harvey Avenue. I have one person, 2 people registered to speak.
Mr. Chair, the 2 people registered on file are in fact the agent and the property owner. Due to some confusion, the agent is the only one that's going to want to speak to this file.
So the agent is Tomas Goral.
That is correct.
Okay, Mr. Goral, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes,
Good
thank
morning.
you, sir. I just wanted to ask, have you had the opportunity to read the planning report dated the 18th of November? They indicate they appear to have no objections to your application, but they recommend that a permanent opaque privacy screen be constructed along the north and south side of the 3rd-story rear terrace at a minimum height of 1.5 meters. Have you read that report, sir?
Yes, I did read that, and we're okay with that. We're okay with putting up the privacy screen.
Okay, thank you. There's no one else registered to speak on this item. I think the committee's very clear with what you're asking.
Mr. Chair, we did also receive a very late email from TEY staff with a number of folks listed as potential interested parties in speaking. One for sure has logged in by the name of Terry Martineau.
Okay.
They're a concerned neighbor. If you'd like, we can put them on.
Yes, if you could, yes, I understand. I'm sorry, Mr. Gorell, we have someone who'd like to speak to your application, so I think you should give us a very brief presentation on what you see are the merits of your proposal.
Okay, so we are proposing a third floor addition over an existing two-story dwelling with a terrace in the back. The third floor will be basically the master bedroom, ensuite, and closet. So it's adding one bedroom to the dwelling to make it a four-bedroom dwelling.
Okay, you don't have anything more to add, sir?
Pardon me?
Do you have anything more to add?
Unless there's any questions from the opposition, I can answer them. We did have a permit, so if you're looking at the plans that are posted right now, we did it first, the two-story dwelling, and then during construction, the homeowner decided that they wanted to add the third floor for their livable space. So on this plan, on the elevation that you see here, we did do the roof at an angle, so it didn't seem like a complete building. So we tried to fit it into the neighborhood. I'm hearing an echo. I don't know if that's myself or someone else.
Okay,
Well,
thank you. Any questions of the speaker? Thank you. Mr. Wills, we have someone registered to speak.
Mr. Chair, Terry Martineau is able to speak.
Okay, Terry Martineau, are you there?
Good morning, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Chair, my name is Terry Martino.
Can I get your address, sir?
Can you hear me okay?
Your address, sir?
I'm sorry, there must be some mistake. I'm registered for a different application, and I have no objection for no knowledge.
Okay, all right. So you have no objections to the application, sir?
None whatsoever.
Okay, thank you. We'll go back. There's no one else registered to speak on this item, Mr. Wills?
There is not.
Okay, thank you. Committee members, we have no one else registered to speak on this item. You've heard from the applicant. There's no questions. If I could get a motion on this application, please. Ms. Adirati?
Through you, Mr. Chair, I would like to put forward a motion to approve this application with staff condition that a permanent opaque privacy screen be constructed at north and south side of the bathroom of the third story with a height of 1.5 meters.
Thank you, Ms. Adirati. Someone to second that motion. Ms. Sankar seconds. All those in favor? That motion carries unanimously. Sir, your application has been unanimously approved, subject to city planning conditions.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Now on item number 7, which is 92 Alcorn Avenue. I have 3 people registered to speak. The first person is the agent, Ty Murray. Are you there?
I am here.
Sir, can I get your full name and address, please?
It's Ty Murray. It's 1164 Queen Street West.
Okay,
From
thank you,
Ontario.
sir. You have one variance before us regarding a platform. There are 2 other people registered to speak, so if you could give us a very brief presentation on what you see as the merits of your proposal.
Sure. So we are looking for a single minor variance to allow us to encroach 3.05 meters into the required rear yard setback. This is 1.55 meters more than the allowed 1.5 meter encroachment. And this is essentially to allow us to have a functional outdoor space for what is a walk-up building, and so that's the kitchen is what is overlooking the backyard. Essentially, the property to the east here has a similar situation, so we are keeping within the neighboring uses, and the property to the north is well protected from any overlooking concerns.
Okay, thank you. Any questions of the speaker? Being none, we'll go to our next person on the, on our list. I have a Sarah Hampson. Are you there, madam?
Mr. Chair and members, Sarah Hampson is not present on the call.
Okay, thank you. Take her off the list. I have one other person registered to speak, a Graham McIntosh. Are you there, sir? Mr. McIntosh, are you there?
Committee members and chair, Graham is present on the call and he is unmuted. So if you'd like to speak and voice his concerns, now is the time.
Okay, Mr. McIntosh, are you there? Graham McIntosh, are you there? Graham McIntosh, are you there? One more time, and then that's the end. Mr. McIntosh, are you there? Okay, take him off the list, Mr. Wills. Okay, we'll go to we're back in committee. Does the committee have any questions of the speaker? We have no people here who have people who are registered to speak are not there. So if I could get a motion on this application, please note that the only condition we have is a forestry condition. Ms. Sankar?
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair. I note the letters of support, and I do believe that the neighbors have similar settings. So I'll motion to approve this application subject to forestry.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sankar. Someone to second that motion? Mr. Kidd seconds. All those in favor? That motion carries unanimously. Sir, your application's been unanimously approved, subject to urban forestry conditions.
Thank you, committee and
Number
Mr. Chair.
8, 20 Peveril Hill North. I have an agent to speak, Natalie. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here, but
Yes,
it's
hello,
gonna
madam.
be,
I have you down, and I have one other person registered to speak. Could I get your full name and address, please?
who will go, you're talking to me? So, I'm not sure this, the person who's gonna talk is gonna be the owner gonna talk, but I can talk as well, but main speech is gonna be from the owner.
Okay.
Hello? I'm
Yes, hello.
here.
Madam, we're having some trouble hearing you. Can you make sure you have all your other audio devices turned off and don't use a speakerphone?
Are you speak with me, Natalia? Yes?
Okay,
Yes, we are. You ready? Please present, Natalia.
Yes, I'm here, but I'm not the registered speaker. It's supposed to be the owner who's supposed to speak. I'm gonna hear only support in case it's gonna be some questions.
I understand. Mr. Chair and members, the agent doesn't actually want to speak about the project, the homeowner does. As such, I have unmuted the homeowner, Heather Mandel.
okay. Ms. Mandel, you want to speak instead of your agent?
Hello, yes, I'm here.
Okay, if you could give us a very brief presentation on what you see are the merits of your proposal.
Okay, sure. So we've been living here for over 10 years. We built a family of 4 children. Currently, the house is just about 1,300 square feet. So we have 3 kids living all in one room and 1 bathroom for all of us to share. So as you can imagine, due time for us to build an extension. We're requesting to build an extension on the existing footprint, a 2-story addition. We have been as considerate as possible and mindful when thinking about the extension, and we have spoken to our neighbors, and as far as we know, everybody has been supportive. So when I speak about the variances, I can go through all 4 variances if you prefer, starting with number 1. So the zoning officer has calculated that we are proposing the house to be 17.8 meters. So I think that potentially he has considered maybe the front porch, the existing front porch, because if you go into site plan A01, and measure from the front of the bay window to the back of the house. It actually comes, as per my architect, right up to 17 meters exactly. Number 2 variance. So the reason why this variance says that we are proposing a floor space of 1.17 times the area is because the examiner has actually included the basement in the total floor area of the house, because the first floor is raised more than 50% of the established grade. Again, this is to do with the existing basement ceilings being so low that we needed to raise the ceilings up to the standard. So the actual floor area of just the ground floor and the second floor is 2,676 square feet, which is 0.77.5%, not 1.17% over. Variance number 3, this is an existing variance for the south side of the house. These are the original walls, exterior walls of the home. The home was built in the 1940s. They're obviously keeping these exterior walls because we're just doing an addition, so there's really nothing that we can do about this existing variance. And number 4, with the roof eaves, this actually is sort of tied into variance number 3 because the roof eave comes off of that south side lot, so the south side existing wall. So we tried to keep the eaves as small as possible at only 8 inches. We tried to go as small as we possibly could. The south side of the house actually goes onto the neighbor's driveway, not directly to their house, so they still have quite a bit of space, and we're very friendly with our neighbors, and they don't have any opposition to this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Does the committee have any questions of the speaker? There being none, we'll go to the next person on our list. I have a Howard Kamen. Are you there, sir?
Committee members and Mr. Chair, Howard is not present on the call.
Okay, thank you. That being the case, I have no one else registered to speak on this application, and I note that there are no staff comments or recommended conditions. If I could get a motion on the application, please. Mr. Kidd?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think the proposed variance is minor in nature, meet the 4 tests, minor variance. I'd like to put forward a motion to accept the application.
Thank you, Mr. Kidd. Someone to second that motion? Ms. Sankar seconds. All those in favor? That motion carries unanimously. Madam, your application's been unanimously approved without condition. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Item number 9, 244 Rosemount Avenue. I have one person registered to speak, Bruno Lopez. Are you there, sir?
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chair and committee members. I'm here.
Thank you very much, sir. Good morning to you. Could I get your full name and address, please?
Yeah, my name is Bruno Lopez, and it's MXL Engineering and Associates.
Okay, thank you,
1649 St. Clair Avenue West.
Thank you very much, sir. I note that we have 2 variances before us. I think it's pretty clear what you're asking for. I think the committee's clear on that, too. I also note that we have no comments or recommended conditions from staff and no one else registered to speak on this application. Does the committee have any questions or comments, or would it like a presentation on the application? Ms. Adarati?
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair, I would like to get explanation for variance number 1.
Sir, did you get Ms. Adarati's question? She'd like to hear your justification for variance number 1.
Well, what we're trying to do there is actually create these 2 secondary units, and it's very difficult to keep your main unit to actually have the 55%. So we did our best job, and if you look at our drawings, page per se A03, we try to have the basement and the main floor unit within the same sort of square footage, and give as much as possible square footage to the third unit, would say on the second floor, keeping the front of the house as part of that unit. We did our best intent to keep the 55-45, but literally it's not possible because if we take from any unit from the main or basement, we're gonna literally take out rooms, and that defies the purpose.
Okay, thank you, sir. Does the committee have any further questions of the speaker? There being none, there's no one else registered to speak on this item. Could I get a motion, please? Ms. Sankar?
Through you, Mr. Chair, motion to approve this application.
Thank you, Ms. Sankar. Someone to second that motion? Mr. Kidd seconds. All those in favor? Opposed? Ms. Adderati dissenting. Sir, your application has been approved without condition. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
I'm now on to item number 10, 43 Oriole Parkway. I have one person registered to speak, Amaya Janikowski. Are you there, madam? Ms. Janikowski, are you there? Ms. Janikowski, are you there?
Hello?
Yes, Ms. Janikowski, can you hear us?
Yes.
Can
Yes.
I get your full name? Can I get your full name and address, please?
Yes, it's Maya Janikowski, 973 Boulevard West.
Madam, your audio is breaking up on us. If you could make sure you have all your, any other audio devices turned off, just speak into your phone.
I am speaking through the computer. My apologies. This video on.
Okay, thank you, Madam. You have one variance before us relating to floor space index, and I note that there are no staff comments or recommended conditions on the application. I think it's pretty clear what you're asking for in the application. I'll just ask the committee if it has any questions or comments, or if it would like a presentation. There being none, if I could get a motion on this application, please. Ms. Adderati?
Through you, Mr. Chair, I would like to forward a motion to approve this application.
Thank you, Ms. Adderati. Someone to second that? Ms. Sankar seconds. All those in favor? That motion carries unanimously. Madam, your application has been unanimously approved without condition. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. I have item number 11 next, which is 104 Greenlaw Avenue, and the agent, Mohammed Butt. Are you there, sir?
Attendee list.
Yes, Mr. Butt, are you there? Okay, Mr. Butt, I wanted to ask, there was there's material filed with our application that indicates that your client would like to request a deferral. Is that correct? Mr. Butt, are you there?
Oh, मेरी बारी आ गया.
You're aware that there's material on file here indicating your client would like to defer the application.
Oh, मेरी बारी आ गई. मेरा नाम है Andrew.
What was that? Would you like to defer the application? Would you like to defer the application, sir? Yes or no?
Mr. Chair, can we try the other person listed as an agent, Lindsay Bruce, for this?
Pardon me?
Can we try the other person listed on our list as agent, as Lindsay Bruce?
Okay. Is a Lindsay Bruce there?
Hi.
Yes, Ms. Bruce, can I get your full name
Yes.
and address, please?
Yeah, it's Lindsay Bruce of SMTL Design Studio at 15 Colburn Street, Hamilton.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to ask, we have material on file with this application indicating that your client would like to defer the application. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. We would like to request deferral today, please.
Okay, now we have, I just beg your indulgence here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 people who are registered to speak. So I'm going to have to ask to see how they feel about a deferral. So let me just go through the people on the list. Madam, my mistake. If I could get your reason for the deferral?
Sure. We plan to amend the application to remove the rooftop terrace, reduce the height slightly and modify the footprint.
Okay, thank you. I'll just go to the people who registered to speak. I have a Gil Amerdell. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Mr. Amerdell, I think you've heard the agent will be requesting a deferral. Do you have an objection to that?
No, I'm just, I'm not a expert in this real estate development. What does a deferral actually mean? I found the whole communication to be obfuscated, misleading. Everything from the start has been very
Sir,
muddled.
just wait a second. The applicant needs to revise their application. They want to make changes to it. So once that happens, there'll be a new application that will have to be filed with the committee, and that will be circulated again to the affected public. And you'll have a comment. You'll have the chance to comment on that again.
So we have to go through this process all again, all the emotions, all the trauma.
Yes, unfortunately, but it'll be a different application.
Okay, that's fine. I'd just like to make comments about the general.
There's no point, sir, because the applicant's requesting a deferral. So if that's the case, there's no.
I have a legal question for you, please.
No, sir, there's no point.
Gil, please reach out. Gil, please reach out.
Okay, thank you for your.
Gil, please reach out to your application technician, the responsible member from the City of Toronto. The contact information will be on the public notice. Propose any questions you have to them, and they'll be able to help you out. So again, reach out to your application technician responsible for the file.
Thank you, Mr. Wills. We go to the next person on the list, Phillip Harper. Are you there, sir?
Yes, I'm here.
Mr. Harper, did you have an objection to the applicant's request for a deferral?
No.
No?
No, I don't.
Okay, thank you. Go to the next person on the list, and Elizabeth Spinassi. Are you there?
Mr. Chair and members, Elizabeth is not present on the call.
Okay, thank you. Go to our next person on the list, Susan Garrett. Are you there, madam?
Mr. Chair and members, Susan is not on the call.
Okay, thank you. Next person on the list, Michael Cherkis. Are you there?
I'm here.
Mr. Cherkis, do you have any objections to the applicant's request for a deferral?
No, I don't.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next person on the list, Mary DeFrias. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. Are you there, madam?
Yes, I am. I have no objection to the deferral.
Yes, do you have any objection to a deferral?
No.
Okay, thank you, madam. We'll go back to the agent. Ms. Bruce, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you. Does the committee have any questions of the speaker? There being none, could I get a motion on the deferral, please? Mr. Kidd?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to put forward a motion to defer the application, sine die, to allow the applicant to revise their.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kidd. Someone to second that? Ms. Sankar seconds. All those in favor? That motion carries unanimously. Madam, your application's been adjourned sine die for the purpose of revising the application. Thank you, madam. Item number 12, 261 Symington Avenue. I have one person registered to speak, Bruno Lopez. Are you there, sir?
Yes, I am.
Mr. Lopez, we have 3 variances before us. I think the committee's pretty clear on what you're asking for. I also note that there are no comments or recommended conditions from staff. I'll just ask the committee if it has any questions or comments or it would like a presentation. None? If I could get a motion on this application, we have no other persons registered to speak. Ms. Adirati?
This is a very straightforward application, and I would like to put forward a motion to approve the application with no conditions.
Thank you, Ms. Adirati. Someone to second that motion? Ms. Sankar seconds. All those in favor? That motion carries unanimously. Sir, your application's been unanimously approved. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We are now on item number 13702 Lansdowne Avenue. I have two people registered to speak. Lena Rodriguez is the agent. Are you there, madam?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, madam. Could I get your full name and address, please?
Lena Rodriguez, 504 Perth Avenue.
Okay, thank you, madam. If you could give us a very brief, we have one other person registered to speak, so if you could give us a very brief presentation on what you see as the merits of your proposal.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We are requesting to legalize and maintain the as-built two-story rear addition and the canopy over the area between the garage and the ground floor of the building. The existing building is a duplex, and the property owners, they live in the ground floor, and their son, who is married with his wife and a 2-year-old daughter, they are living on the second floor. That's the second unit. So the existing porch at the back on the ground floor was enclosed to make a sunroom. And above that sunroom, a veranda was also constructed. This will serve as a recreational area for the family above. So this addition resulted in the variance of the length of the building and the floor space index as well. A canopy was also built in the space between the house and the garage for the purpose of protection from the snow and the rain, and for them to easily access the garage from the house and from the house to the garage, especially in the winter time. So we are proposing to remove portion of the as-built roof connected between the house and the garage. From the second floor, it's 1.12 meters space there, and from the ground floor, it will be 0.41 meters, which is only from the post. Actually, the space is from the post. This structure is open. It just has post and roof over it. So this will separate the ancillary building from the main house. The added addition is actually needed by the residents for a recreational space for the young family above and the sunroom for the parents below, so they could use it all year round. And we are kindly requesting your approval. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam. Does the committee have any questions of the speaker? Thank you. We have one person registered to speak. I have a Sean Holt. Are you there? Mr. Holt?
Yes, I'm
are
here.
you
Sorry
there?
about that. You can hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Can I get your full name and address, please?
Yes, it's Sean Holt at 27 Ward Street, which is just to the southwest of the property.
Okay. If you'd like to give us your thoughts on this application.
Sure. So thank you very much for your consideration and your important work. I don't have any specific objections to give of how this variance affects my property. So all I can really do is thank Manuel and Carla for proceeding with the project to improve their property. I hope that they will take this opportunity to not only replace their garage and houses weathered, untreated plywood cladding with proper materials, as is shown on the plan there, but also to remove the collection of junk that covers their entire rear roofs. There are a bunch of cinder blocks and barrels and just construction debris back there. So this will allow their property to no longer be the worst eyesore in the neighborhood. A year or two ago, I was glad to see them finally remove their broken down van from the rear laneway. And so now I can only hope that they will follow through with and maintain the 5.8 square meters of grass that their application site plan does show in this laneway area there. I am somewhat concerned about flooding in the rear area there, and it is a concern for the neighborhood, and how the fact that we're down to 18% from the required minimum 25% of soft landscaping. But I don't expect that it's a major effect to me. So I lean on your expertise to approve it if you see it fit. And if it does, I hope that they follow through with the plan and that they maintain it so that at least it, they follow the law this time and have a house that, can add to the beauty of the neighborhood. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's go back to the agent. Are you there?
Yeah, I can only tell, yes, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, if you'd like to.
Thank you.
If you'd like to comment
Yeah.
on Mr. Holt's comments.
Yes, thank you, Sean. I can only relay your comments to the owner, and hopefully they would do as how you look at it, clear the property and maintain a good-looking character of the neighborhood, houses of the neighborhood, in your neighborhood. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any questions of the speaker? Mr. Kidd?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is, I understand, an existing situation. How long has it been existing? When was the work done?
Did you get that question?
I'm not sure how long it's been existing, but it has been built already.
Okay, but how long has it been there? I think that's the nature of Mr. Kidd's question.
Yeah, I'm not sure for how long or when did they actually build the addition. I don't have the date to that, but what I know is that it's already been used. It's already been existing there, and they've been using it.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions of the speaker? There being
Thank
none,
you.
could I get a motion on this application? I note that there are no staff comments or recommended conditions. Could I get a motion, please? Mr. Kidd?
Well, I will accept the explanation provided by the applicant, and it's somewhat difficult to think being minor. I'm going to put forward a motion to accept the application without condition.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kidd. Someone to second that motion? Ms. Sankar seconds. All those in favor? Opposed? Ms. Adderati dissenting. Madam, your application has been approved without condition. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, committee. Have a nice day.
We're on item number 14, 11 Croydon Road. I have the agent registered to speak and one other person. Terry Martino, are you there?
I am, Mr. Chair, yes.
Yes, hello, sir. Can I get your full name and address, please?
Thank you. My name is Terry Martino, Renweiss Architect and Associates, 341 First Street, Oakville, Ontario,
Okay,
L6K3D7.
Thank you, sir. If you could give us, because we have one other person registered to speak on this item, if you could give us a brief presentation on what you see are the merits of your proposal.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. I would like to start, if I could, with an amendment to our application. We would like to withdraw variance number 2, seeking the minor variance for the maximum permitted length of dwelling. Hello, Mr. Chair.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, we can't hear properly. Which variance the applicant is removing?
Ms. Adderati, we're having trouble with the audio, but if you could repeat your question, please.
The question is that I couldn't understand which variance is trying to remove or modify.
Mr. Martino, did you state that variance number 1 is being removed?
No, thank you, Mr. Chair. We would like to request removal of variance number 2.
Number 2. Variance number 2 is being removed.
So variance number 2 is being deleted. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's the variance relating to the building length.
Building length, yes, Mr. Chair, thank you.
So variance number 2 is being deleted. Variance number 2 is being deleted, sir, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Chair, members of the committee, correct.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions of the speaker? Being none, we'll go to our next person on the list. I have a Saul or Vivian Ship. Are you there?
Hello.
Saul or Vivian Ship, are you there?
Yes, this is Vivian Ship. Saul is on the phone because
Madam, can I get your full name and
sound.
address, please?
Okay, no, okay.
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to talk through the iPad. Yes, so my name is Saul Schiff. I live at 15 Croydon Road, which is immediately adjacent to 11 Croydon Road.
Okay.
And we believe that the variances, even though there's a change, the major one is the size and the size of the platform. So all these variances are, both these variances are not minor, and they greatly impact our privacy. First, the size of the building, still 0.7 times lot area, which is almost double the maximum allowed. This results in a massive, bulky building, which negatively impacts the streetscape, blocks our access to light, and towers above our back patio where we take our meals whenever the weather is good. The particular issue that we have, in addition to that one, is the third-story platform. It's 13.44 square meters, rooftop terrace, almost 3.5 times the permitted size. It would tower above all other buildings and destroy our privacy as well as that of other residents of the area. It directly overlooks our back deck and patio and would reduce our use and enjoyment of it. We also are afraid of noise from outdoor terrace gatherings and shouting from the third floor down to the pool below, because the owners entertain a great deal. We also fear that the owners will illuminate the deck as they do their cabana every evening until 11 p.m. This rooftop terrace would set a precedent for our neighborhood and damage its character and friendliness. I think that there's a reason why the city plan does not allow large rooftop terraces. And you know, to give such a variance for 3.5 times bigger than the allowed amount, I think is way beyond the authority of the committee. I just can't understand how it could be considered as necessary. I'd like to point out to the committee, I don't know if you've looked at the diagrams carefully, there's a very misleading item there. The third floor drawing is actually shows that's it. If you leave that one there, it's showing all the other, the basement, first floor and second floor, the street, the north facing is on the left. In this case, for some strange reason, this diagram is reversed. And so the patio is actually, outdoor patio is actually facing west, not east. So the street is on your right there. This would mean that it's completely facing towards our side, on the west side. In addition to that, everything of this plan is facing west on our side. There's a very they want to put in a side entrance on the west in a very narrow passageway between the two buildings. There's only, I think, about less than a meter in there. They're going to have a sidewalk and a passageway. That is I think it's 0.8 or something like that, after the architectural pilaster. So this will also disrupt our privacy. The rear entrance that they propose is on the west side. The pool and the cabana, in case you didn't notice it on the diagram, are skewed towards the west side. So to top it off, we're going to have a third floor addition with floor to ceiling windows and a patio, large patio, facing directly to the west, to our side. As I said, we use our backyard a great deal. We eat in the patio every day during the summer, sometimes 3 meals a day, and we'll really lose our privacy. So in addition to that, I'd just like to say that, you know, the Cedarville community is known for trees, lawns, and unostentatious single-family homes. It has a reputation of being a friendly green enclave. This proposal would be out of character and would damage the community. And this last statement comes not only from myself, but also from our next door neighbor at 17 Croydon, Richard and Penny Parnes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Does the committee have any questions of the speaker? We'll go back to Mr. Martino. Are you there, sir?
I am. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Martino, if you'd like to respond to the previous speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to. With respect to the streetscape, the proposed dwelling is situated on a lot similar to the existing dwelling. That is to say, we're using the driveway entrance, maintaining the large street tree out front. I guess we could have drawing A1.8. Drawing A1.8. Thank you. Oh, yes, thank you. That is the front elevation of the house facing the street. From a streetscape perspective, there's an attempt to bring the massing of the house down. The roof slopes down towards the adjacent neighbor in the west, sort of presenting a story and a half look. If I could, I'd like to address drawing A1.5. So this has to do directly with variance number 1. The main roof height at the eave, as illustrated there, actually 6.5 meters high. The zoning bylaw lies the height that we're seeking relief for 10 feet to the 3rd floor. And that 3rd floor box, as you can see, is located in the center of the house, well set back from the front and the rear yard, as well as it's approximately 3.3 meters from the property line. The house itself complies with the front yard setback, rear yard setback. In discussion with the owner to the west, we withdrew the dwelling length variance earlier, and it meets the height. There is no height variance. With respect to the 3rd floor platform, 3rd floor consists of a single bedroom only. That's drawing A1.4. The deck on the 3rd floor is approximately 12 feet by 12 feet, and it is simply an amenity space for the guest bedroom to bring in light. That deck is not visible from any elevation. It's submerged into the roof. Again, it is approximately 10 feet from the property line, the western neighbor, and well set back. So if you were to go to, I guess, the rear elevation, A16, you can see that the 3rd floor deck is submerged into the roof. And on the left-hand side of that drawing, that would be the western neighbor. The house is actually set back greater than required new dwelling at 1.2 meters. It's presently at 0.9 meters. And the 3rd floor and the deck are set back 3 points. I'd just like to add further that my client has consulted widely in the neighborhood and received 10 letters of support for the application. These are neighbors immediately to the east, immediately across the street on Croydon Road, and abutting property, 4 neighbors on Stratford.
Sir, can you summarize, please?
You may have.
Sir, can you summarize?
I'm complete. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Any questions of the speaker? Ms. Adorati?
The question is, the applicant eliminated variance number 2. As a result, if he eliminated this variance, does it affect variance number 3 and 5?
Sir, did you get that?
I'm sorry, I had difficulty hearing the member.
Ms. Adorati. Okay.
Eliminate variance number 2.
You've eliminated variance number 2, correct?
Yes, means he reduced the length 45. So does this change also modify variance number 3 and 5?
Do you want to change variances number 3 and 5?
Does it affect those things, the modification that applicant provided? Does it affect variance number 3 and 5?
Mr. Chair, she's asking, because you eliminated variance number 2, how does it affect variance number 3 and 5? Does that
Correct.
change or does it stay the same?
Does variances 3 and 5 stay the same, sir?
Well, as I understand it, variance 5 has to do with landscaping. Yes, that variance stays the same.
Okay, variances 5
And-
stays the same.
That's correct. And if you were to look at the first floor plan,
Does the floor space index change because you're changing the building length?
no, sir, we are not changing that variance request because we think it might be unaffected. If the first floor plan, as you can see, the reduction in the length of the building are the 2 piers in the rear yard, which would be moved back. That is what the depth is measured.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any further questions of the speaker? So can I get we have no other persons registered to speak. If I could get a motion on this revised application, please. Please note that variance number 2 relating to the building length has been deleted. If I could get a motion on this application, please. Ms. Sankar?
So, Mr. Chair, I accept the explanations of the agent today, and I'll put forward a motion to approve this application, subject to the removal of variance number 2.
Thank you, Ms. Sankar. Someone to second that motion? Mr. Kidd seconds. All those in favor?
Can I have a friendly amendment or it's too late?
I have a motion from Ms. Sankar to approve.
I would
Seconded.
like
Miss
one
Adorati,
friendly amendment.
we have a motion on the floor. We have a seconder. We need to vote on that motion.
Okay.
So we have Mr. Kidd seconded. Ms. Sankar
Oh.
put forward the motion. So if I could get a motion, all those in favor of that motion from Ms. Sankar? Opposed? Are you in favor, Ms. Adorati? Okay, she's in favor. Okay, that motion carries unanimously. Sir, your revised application has been unanimously approved without condition. Thank you very much. We're going to take a 2-minute break. We'll be back very shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, the committee is back in session. Thank you very much. Now on item number 15, 27 Afton Avenue. I have 3 people registered to speak. The first one is the owner, Christine Hanna. Are you there?
Yes, I am. Hello?
Ms. Hanna, thank you very much. I have 2 other persons registered to speak on this application. So if you could give us a very brief presentation.
Mr. Chair and members, can we confirm with Christine that she'd like to do the presentation, or would she prefer that her agent do the presentation?
Yeah, I was just going to make some comments on our intended use as the owners, but I believe that our architect is going to do the presentation.
We'll have them do the presentation then, and if we need your additional comments, we'll ask for them then.
Okay, so madam, who is doing who is going to make?
Mr. Chair and members, the presenter, the agent is Young Fang on your list there.
Mr. Feng, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Yes.
Can I get your name and address, please?
My name is Yue Feng. I live 341 4th Street West.
Okay.
I'm here also with the agent David Footman.
Okay, thank you, sir. If you could give us a brief presentation on what you see are the merits of your proposal.
Well, I'd like to start. Firstly, if you could look at the photographs that were submitted showing the rear of the property, that shows the GFA of the property to the west, which exceeds what we are proposing. And the next photo shows the GFA of the adjacent property at 162%. The majority of our work is in the slot between the 2 buildings that we're filling in. So our proposal, as you can see, is well below the area and even the length of the adjacent buildings. We also have shown a zoning map showing about 10 properties within 150 meters that exceed the heights allowable and the densities allowable. This proposal is very minor in nature. We're putting a little bit of a 3rd floor in the attic. The heights that we are proposing already exist. So my belief is it's a very minor proposal. It's in keeping with the neighborhood and provincial policy. I've talked to the neighbor to the east, and they're in support of the proposal. And I think the plans show that, and I hope you can also see the merits of this proposal and intensifying the neighborhood.
Okay, thank you, sir. Does the committee have any questions of the speaker? Being none, we'll move on to our next person registered to speak, Vito Ferlano. Are you there, sir?
Yes, I am, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir. Can I get your full name and address, please?
Vito Ferlano. I'm the owner of 25 Aston. I live at 2045 Lakeshore Boulevard.
Okay, thank you, sir. Please, if you could give us your thoughts on this application.
I spoke to the architect, and my objection to this proposal is that when I look at the site plan, there's going to be a gap between the proposed wall and my existing wall. If there's a gap there, I'm going to have water in there, and it will cause damage to my property. Now, I submitted my letter to the city objecting to that. If there's no gap between their property and mine, I have no problems to the application. But I did not see the drawings. I tried to go online. I didn't see any. So if this is going to be allowed, I want a condition that they butt their wall right up against mine so there's no gap and no water will be allowed to enter.
Sir, with respect to stormwater management, the applicant has to submit his plans as well as lot grading plans to make sure that all his stormwater is managed on his own site, so that will be taken care of through the building division at the time of building permit issuance if the application is approved.
Mm-hmm. But when I spoke to the architect, he said their wall will butt up against mine. Can that be a condition in your decision?
That's not a condition,
I mean,
sir. That's not a condition the committee can impose.
then
It's
if that,
it's
I
not
mean,
related
unless
to the
the
variance.
applicant is- I didn't quite hear the applicant. Did the applicant, unless he's going to tell me right now, his wall is going to butt up against my wall?
Well, sir, I'll ask the applicant to expand on that when he comes back online, okay?
Thank you.
Sir, did you hear the comments from Mr. Ferlano?
Yes, I did. Our wall will butt up within a quarter inch of his wall. There'll be no water allowed between the buildings.
Okay, so do you have anything else to add to that?
Well, we spoke. I think the plans clearly show that there will be no space between the buildings. I believe actually that his wall is on our property, but we will build tight to that property to avoid any water going in. So
Okay,
this will be a lot drier and warmer than it is already. This long slot is very bad for both buildings, so we're eliminating that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Any questions of the speaker? We have no, I note on this application, committee members, we have no comments or recommended conditions from staff. So if I could get a motion on this application, please. Mr. Kidd?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In my view, the requested variances are minor and appropriate for this site. I'd like to put forward a motion to accept the application without condition.
Thank you, Mr. Kidd. Someone to second that motion? Ms. Sankar, seconds. All those in favor? The motion carries unanimously. Sir, your application has been unanimously approved without condition. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you. Item number 16, 149 Brock Avenue. I have one person registered to speak. That is Zeliko Janos. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Sir, can I get your full name and address, please?
My name is Zeljko Janusz. I reside at 55 Stibad Avenue, and I'm one of the owners of the 149 Brock Avenue.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I think you have, I notice there's no one else here registered to speak on this item. You have 4 variances before us. I think the committee's pretty clear on what you're asking for. I'll just ask the committee if it has any questions, comments, or if it would like a presentation.
Actually, I would like to...
Ms. Adirati, you have a question?
No, I appreciate a presentation.
Pardon me, you want like a presentation? Sir, if you could give us a presentation on this application, please?
Sure. Actually, 4 years ago, we helped our son to purchase this tiny semi in the little Portugal in a pretty rough shape. So we renovated the main floor and created a second suite on the second floor to help him get the income to pay for the mortgage. At the time, we noticed that the basement walls are not in a great shape, and some of the parts of the basement were compromised. So this year, they applied to underpin the basement walls and to improve the structure of the house. At the same time, we were actually misled with the assumption that creating a front walkout would trigger committee of adjustment automatically, and we applied for this committee of adjustment variances. While preparing for this hearing, we actually learned, walked around the 46 houses that have a front walkout in the neighborhood and cross-referenced the addresses with the committee of adjustment decisions. And we actually studied the zoning bylaw a little bit more careful ourselves. And we learned that we can actually create a solution, leaving the second floor, second suite on the second floor, and actually creating a walkout for the purpose of using the basement with the main floor. In the meantime, we instructed, we spoke to the zoning examiner, and actually he confirmed our idea and instructed the architect to apply, revise the drawings and reapply for the building permit, and we did obtain the building permit. At that time, it was too late to stop the committee of adjustment application and possibly get some refund. And the administration actually advises that we actually attend the hearing, and maybe we can benefit from this. The solution that we created actually satisfied all the zoning requirements, but it required, in order to create elevation that's required, we had to put 2 steps inside the basement rather than the outside. So we would like to delete first 2 items that relate to the second suite in the basement, because we're leaving the second suite on the second floor, and reducing this walkout significantly, removing a patio, having just the stairs. There was original proposal went over the city, went over the property line to the city property with the 2 steps. Now we would like to actually start the front step at the property line and then go forward, and that would actually help us eliminating those 2 steps inside. I hope I was clear. So we would like to request only 2 minor variances, so that the front setback not being 0.6 meter instead of
Sir,
being
can you
0.
summarize, please? Are you making changes?
We actually have.
What changes are you making to your application, sir? Should have said that at the beginning. Okay, well, what changes are you making?
We are removing the request for the second suite in the basement. That's number 1 and 2.
So 1 and 2 are being deleted?
Deleted, that's correct. And we would like to 3 and 4 to be.
Okay, slow down, sir. Slow down a second. Variance number 1 is being deleted.
That's correct.
Variance number 2 is being deleted.
That's correct.
Variance number 3, is it staying the same?
Yes.
Variance number 4, is that staying the same?
That is correct.
Variance 4 stays the same. Okay, thank you very much for clearing that up. Okay, thank you. Does the committee have any further questions of the speaker? Please note that he's revised his applications. Variance number 1 relating to the proposed secondary suite altering the front wall of the semi-detached house. That's being deleted. Variance number 2, the proposed pedestrian entrance in the front wall of the building. That's being deleted. Variance 3 is staying the same, and variance 4 is staying the same. So those are the revisions to the application. We have no one else registered to speak. So if I could get a motion on the revised application, please. Ms. Sankar?
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair, I accept the revisions made today and I'll motion to approve this application with the amendments made by the applicant today.
Thank you, Ms. Sankar. Someone to second that motion? Mr. Kidd seconds. All those in favor? That motion carries unanimously. Sir, your revised variance, your revised application has been unanimously approved. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Item number 17, 96 Lindsay Avenue. I have 2 people registered to speak.
Mr. Chair, please note that there's the agent and the homeowner that are here to speak.
Oh, okay, they're both the same. I'm sorry.
As such, we should just try and stick to the agent.
Thank you, Mr. Wills. I'll say, is Mr. Teng Chow there?
Yes, I am.
Yes,
It's Miss.
Yes, Ms. Chow. Thank you very much.
No.
Yes, I noticed that this application has no comments from staff or any recommended conditions. You have one proposed variance relating to building depth. I'll just ask the committee if it has any questions or comments or would like a presentation. Okay, if I could get a motion on this application, please. Ms. Adirati?
Through your message here, I would like to put forward the motion to approve this application.
Thank you, Ms. Adderati. Someone to second that motion? Ms. Sankar, seconds. All those in favor? That motion carries unanimously. Madam, your application's been unanimously approved without condition. Thank you very much. Item number 18.
Thank you very much.
Item number 18, 199 Willow Avenue. I have two people registered to speak. The agent of Vanessa Fong, are you there?
Yes, present.
Yes, thank you, madam. If you could give us a brief presentation on what you see are the merits of your proposal, please.
Yes, definitely. So my name is Vanessa Fong, agent for the owner, and we're requesting 7 variances for a rear and side addition to the existing detached house. There is one variance which is in duplicate, and I'll speak to that. So really it's with 6 variances. There is a presentation. I don't know if that can be brought up as a visual as I go through this.
We're in the process of searching for it. In the meantime, if you'd like to go forward with your presentation.
Yes, madam, if you could please go forward with your presentation.
Sure. Okay. Sure. The first and the 5th variance have to do with the setback, and particularly the setback to the south property line, as we're adding a side addition to the existing house. That side yard setback would be 0.07 meters. And that's being triggered by the wall itself, as well as the steps and sort of landing as it approaches the wall. As it approaches the addition. The 2nd and the 6th variance we are requesting is for building height, asking for 10.2 meters where 10 meters is allowed. And that is due to propping up the rear portion of the 3rd floor. To allow for more usable space. I do want to note that the 10.2 meters is still lower than the high point of the original peaked roof, and isn't visible from the street. In the presentation, I had a rendering just showing street view that you wouldn't actually see the sort of rear portion of the 3rd floor roof, as it's sort of just the back half of the 3rd floor. And then variance number 4 relates to FSI, where 0.6 is allowed in this area. We're requesting 0.82. And we find that this is actually typical. Typically, we exceed the 0.6 allowable where 3rd floor attic spaces are used or habitable in Toronto. And then the last variance is for parking. We have an existing driveway and an existing curb cut. And we would not be changing the curb cut, but we would need to widen the driveway in order for it to accommodate a standard City of Toronto parking space of 2.6 meters wide. And you can see here the blue is the parking space. The entire parking space would be on private land, but we need to request a variance to be able to park in front of the house. And here on this slide, you can see that there are examples of parking in front of houses up and down Willow, as well as sort of in the neighborhood as well. So it is quite a common, I think, feature of this area. We do also have 18 signed signatures of support from neighbors within the sort of like blocks near the subject site as well.
Okay, thank you, madam. Does the committee have any questions of the speaker? We have one person registered to speak. I have a Matthew James. Are you there, sir?
Good morning, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. James, are you there? We can hear you. Can I get your full name and address, please?
My full name is Matthew James, and I'm at 201 Willow Avenue North, and I'm the neighbor directly to the north of the subject property. Okay. It'll be noted in the submission that I'm actually in support of item number 6, which relates to the front yard parking. I'm in regular contact with the applicant, and what's interesting is I've received assurances, including through today, that all variances with the exception of item 6 are not applicable due to the evolution of their plans from originally submitted, which is a moot point if they're withdrawn.
I'm sorry, sir, can you repeat that?
Sure. I'm in support of item number 6, variance number 6, regarding front parking.
Yes, and what
For the
and what's your comment?
sorry, I can't-
What's the comment?
for the remainder, yes, for the remainder of the variances excluding item number 6 regarding the parking, I'm in regular contact with the applicant, the owner, and he's advised me that they're withdrawing. There's no need for any of the variances except for number 6.
Okay, well, we'll ask the, we can ask the applicant about that when they come back. Do you have any other comments you'd like to let the committee know of?
Sure. Yeah, my concerns are primarily with the gross floor area and the scale that it's going to produce and drainage impacts for neighbors. My other concern is regarding the north lot line, and that's regarding item number on screen. The continuation of a wall against my north lot line that is not in compliance with the city's zoning rules.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'll just refer your comments back to the agent. Ms. Fong, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
You heard
Hello?
the comments from Mr. James. Can you please address those comments, please?
Yes, I can. When we originally applied for these variances, it was, I think, just the day before the lockdown in March. And due to a lot of the delays with processing of city, the committee of adjustment, the client and homeowner wasn't able financially to wait for this committee date, unfortunately, to get construction going because he was holding 2 houses at that point, and there was sort of like, I guess, an unknown time of when we would get approvals of this. So in the meantime, basically between March and today, we had to sort of pivot and get a renovation project underway for an as-of-right condition, an addition, which they are moving forward with, and as Mr. James noted, is currently under construction. We weren't able to get a refund for any of this process either, so we decided to move ahead with this application with these setbacks. As Mr. James notes, they probably aren't going to go ahead with the addition as designed. However, the technicality of the parking space we still need to apply for because today's parking space is wider than the driveways that were built, back in the early 1900s. So, I guess the other variances we don't necessarily need for construction except for the parking, to speak to Mr. James's point.
I'm sorry. Are you removing all the variances except for variance number 6?
So I'm not necessarily taking away any of the variances because we already had the application in, we already paid for the fees. If push comes to shove and the committee feels like the other variances aren't, aren't reasonable, we would say the only parking variance that is crucial for this application is the parking.
But sorry to interrupt.
Because we already applied and we couldn't defer it and get our money back. We need to move forward with the application.
If you've built the addition in compliance, why do you need these variances?
Because our application was put in before the lockdown and we already had paid the fees for this. And so we had to move forward.
But you could ask for the variances to be removed. All you're saying is all you need is variance number 6.
Yes, at this point, yes.
So if you don't need the other variances, why don't you just ask for them to be removed? How can the committee approve variances you don't need? Like if you already built it, why do you need the variances? If you built in compliance, then you don't need
Yeah, no, it's a fair point. We got caught up with all the deferrals, and there was a last minute pivot to do something as of right because they had to move in.
Okay, then
So,
for the record, are you making changes?
sorry?
Are you
gonna make-
making, madam, are you making changes to your application?
We are not making changes to the application.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any questions of the speaker? There being none, I note that there are no staff comments or recommended conditions on this application. If I could get a motion to approve or refuse, please. Mr. Kidd?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm a little confused by this application. However, in my view, the requested are meet the fourth for minor variance set out in the Planning Act. I'd like to put forward a motion to accept the application without condition.
Thank you, Mr. Kidd. Someone to second Mr. Kidd's motion to approve? Ms. Adderati seconds. All those in favor? Opposed? Ms. Sankar dissenting. Madam, your application has been approved without condition. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we're adjourned until 1:30. Committee members, my apologies for the crappy audio. So hopefully we'll get it fixed before the afternoon. Thank you again. Thanks for